All right, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. I hope you had a good lunch, good break, or checked out some of the other live streams.
Or didn't eat at all.
Like this one, he didn't eat. He had coffee.
I did have coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee and beer, that's all you need. Coffee, beer, ZBrush.
Have you had coffee-flavored beer?
It's not good. Welcome back to the 2016 ZBrush Live Sculpt-Off here at the ZBrush Summit. This is Group 2 coming up here. So we have another 12 artists, 6 organic and 6 hard surface.
Yes.
That are all competing to be the hard surface champion or the organic champion. To start off, we want to first thank our sponsors. So we want to thank Form Labs. They have given us these nice Form 2 printers as the main prizes for the event. So the winners of the competition are going to go home with a Form 2. We also want to thank Keyshot for supplying the Keyshot Pros that the contestants are using, along with the Keyshot ZBrush to Keyshot Bridge. And we also want to thank Wacom for supplying the Cintiqs and the tablets. And then our final sponsors, we have Kotobukiya, we have Good Smile Company, Funko, and 3D4 Medical. And they have also supplied some various gifts and prizes for our contestants as well. So the contest this year is for a post-apocalyptic. So if you've watched the first one here, this is the second group, and we're going to start here in a minute. We're finishing up the intro video for our contestants for this group. So this is just taking a second here, so we're just filling some time. Then we're going to start this countdown climber here, and our contestants have 3 hours start to finish for their sculpt here. So it's going to be crazy exciting. Get to hear me and Jessica talk quite a bit, and you can see me fumble at graphics and all sorts of other fun stuff. So it's good times. All right, so let's see, without further undo, if we can get our contestants here. Yeah. All right, so here we have our Sculpt-Off room here. We are at the Noman campus here in LA, and this is where all the contestants of Group 2 are hanging out. So you can see we have all their computers set up, and they are rip-roaring and ready to go.
Yes, the energy in here is like super high up. I think it has a lot to do with it not being morning anymore.
This is correct. Definitely helps in the afternoon.
Yeah, artists thrive, right?
Yes, they do thrive. All right, so we're going to go through as the Sculpt-Off goes on, and we're going to do a lot of showing of the 6 individuals in each group, and then also we have them broken down into sets of 2, so you can see 1 organic and 1 hard surface sculptor at the same time, and you're going to be with us on our journey for another 3 hours here. So, without further ado, let's start the clock. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get it!
Go! And they're off. All right, so now let's go to our...
We're going to see all our organic guys all together?
Exactly.
And kind of check out how they each want to start off their crazy post-apocalyptic sculpt.
This is correct. And we're also going to go through some of the names here of who is sculpting in the competition here.
Smart.
Smart. Smart. All right, so the top...
Right,
top left. I think it's left.
Yeah, top left.
It's been a long day. We're going to work this out. Top left, we have Tan. and he is starting here. Then next we have Brett. After that we have Vichar. Then we have Erick Sosa in the bottom left, and he is the current reigning champion for the organic.
He needs to defend that belt if he wants to take another one home.
So he currently has the belt. We'll show you guys the belt here in a minute too, so you can see what they're winning here and what they're competing for. And it's not your Halloween plastic belt.
No, it's
legit. A real belt. Next to him we have Dmitry, and then finally in the lower right corner there we have Joe Menna. So
we have a lot of Joes here today, so we're going to probably always say the last names.
It's a good name. What can I say?
You're so biased.
Vote for Joe. All right, so let's check out our hard surface quick, too. So let's switch there. So here are our hard surface contestants, and this is how they are starting here. We have Steven. Then we have
Stefan.
Stefan?
Steven.
See? I was right.
What? But it's with an A.
We met. No, Stefan is with an A.
It might be misspelled. All right, so we have Steven. We have Andrea. We have Furio, who is our reigning hard surface champion. The Furiosa.
Our other champion, yes.
Lower left corner, we have Dennis. Then middle, we have Lucas. And then lower right corner, we have Joe Grundfast. So those are our hard surface contestants here.
Right on.
So we're going to be switching back and forth between these guys and kind of see what they're up to and what they're doing. So we'll probably hang out on this screen some, and then we're going to break down into sets. If anything we have, we want to go to sets right now?
Well, no, I think how people start off their sculpts is so interesting, and I wouldn't want to miss anything. So honestly, if we keep it at the 6,
let's do that.
Organic and hard surface, just to really see an
what
overarching view.
Yeah,
like this is the coolest thing. Like especially since some of our hard surface guys are starting off with a skull. That's not what you'd expect to see for hard surface at all. Because it's just like, let me take the most organic thing possible and then turn that into a robot.
Mechanize the skull. So we also have some information on these contestants as well that we're going to go through too, so we can talk about who is here and what their kind of backgrounds are. The ZBrush community is tremendous, and we have a lot of excellent artists, so we're extremely happy that we're able to get all these terrific artists in the same room, battling it out for 3 hours here.
Yes.
Non-stop. They can go to the bathroom and take breaks if they want, but we have assigned a key to the bathroom, so they have to ask for the key. So another
it's a power play on our part.
Yeah, for the contest. Just throwing that in there.
Now I'm just really excited to see how these hard surface guys are starting. I'm not naturally a hard surface person, so I'm the most interested in seeing how
they're handling
these guys do this. Like, this is some cool stuff.
So you can see here at the top left, we're going to get this sides right here. We have Steven Anderson here, and you can see he's got his reference on screen. So he's more than likely using Spotlight with the projection option turned off to allow him to display his reference inside a ZBrush.
Oh, that's really
so he's
smart.
allow him to manipulate. He can also use things like markers or even ZapLink to store different camera positions while he's working on it, and then switch back and forth between those angles to match his reference. So really cool functionality that you can do inside a ZBrush that we're witnessing here in the live Sculpt-Off.
Yeah, and in previous years, like, we found that the folks that did the best are the ones that sort of like pre-planned what they were creating. And so a lot of guys are showing up here with like finished concepts that they've designed for their pieces so that they like have all the questions answered for them and they can just create the art today.
Yes, we did give them a little head start. So we gave them the topic a little bit early on so they could practice before they got here. And now we're just heading into the competition. So I'm going to switch to the organics here.
Oh, right on. So already we're seeing like full anatomy stuff blocked out. Like, these guys were allowed to bring in their own base meshes to sort of like pre-plan at least like the proportions and basic geometry of their character. We pre-approved all the base meshes that came in, and everybody had access to see what everyone else was doing as well. So some folks are starting off with just kind of like generic person bust so that they at least have like the density of geometry that they need where they need it. But I love this organic stuff. already seeing like a really big variety of characters. Like post-apocalyptic can mean so many different things to so many different people. I think the only caveat we had was don't make an alien. But like you can make a mutant and you could make android or any number of things that kind of fill this post-apocalyptic theme. And also like what is the apocalypse to you? Is it, you know, an environmental sort of situation where the earth is no longer like habitable, or is it, you know, kind of like that religious theme, like the apocalypse? It's kind of nice to have a really broad topic. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. But yeah, like you can already kind of see exactly what people are paying attention to, because the end result is just going to be a bust of a character that follows this theme. And so folks are worrying about upper torso and the face, and like concentrating on giving their character like a whole lot of interest in humanity. I'm just so impressed at how fast these guys can work. Just to kind of talk a little bit about like the background of different artists that we have. Up in the top left we have Tan, and he is a digital sculptor, and he's worked all over, and he's been doing a lot of realistic and stylized models in ZBrush, and he prints them and actually has them as like sculptures that you can see up in like at the San Francisco Zoo or the San Jose Rotary Play Garden. Top middle we have Brett, and he's a CG artist that started at Disney. It's a pretty good place to start, to be honest. And has worked at a bunch of different studios. And right now he's currently freelancing, actually. So amidst freelancing, he's also been teaching at different online schools and art institutes, which is really cool. It's nice when artists give back to the community. I mean, art is constantly growing and evolving, and just getting to inspire maybe the next generation of students, the next round of people that you'll be working with, is just really exceptional. And then we have Vichar up on the top right. Nice. So he lives and works in India for Technicolor Animation and Games, and he's a CG supervisor for their games division. So he's basically a badass. He really, really has a strong like traditional sculpting background, but likes to provide instruction and mentoring for other CG artists. So I anticipate with his organic sculpture that we'll probably end up seeing a lot of that like traditional skill translated over into ZBrush. For
sure.
Pretty stoked for that.
Man, these guys are off to a good start too.
For reals, no, like you already have a feel of what they're going to be doing.
Killing it. Like he's got a whole head flushed out already.
Yeah, and he
for
started
2 seconds and come back. And
exactly, he started with a Z-sphere, so he didn't even have like a base mesh kind of decided ahead of time. I wonder how much he's going to be free-forming today.
He's probably going to get questions when he gets back to work. Like,
yep.
You can do it that fast? What's happening here?
Tell us more. How do we promote you? All right, and so like on the bottom left, we've got Dmitry. And he's working at Insomniac Games, and has also done like a lot of feature film work over in Singapore.
Wow.
So well-rounded, worldly artist.
That's one thing that's a lot of these guys that came in for the Sculpt-Off competition this year have come from all over. So it's been a worldwide endeavor for these guys here. And for this year, you submitted to enter into the Sculpt-Off. So we did the submissions online, and people sent their work and made it out over here. So next
rad.
year we'll probably end up doing this the same thing. So if you're interested in competing in the Sculpt-Off and your chance for the title and the belt, make sure to look out for those Sculpt-Off sign-ups next year when it starts.
No, that sounds like a plan. And actually, so Dimitri's the bottom middle. On the bottom left, that's Erick, our reigning champion.
The reigning champion.
I misspoke. And you may remember him from last year because he won.
Yep.
But
we also have some of these the Kotobukiya statue that's behind us is actually an Erick Sosa.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does excellent work that you can see as a bunch of professionally sculpted
Yeah, and even
models
just
and
the
collectibles.
prizes that were given out this year, some of them were sculpted by Erick. So not only you get to see him work, but you also have a chance through our live stream competitions here to win one of the pieces of his art.
So cool. And then last but not least, we have Joe Menna. And he's also a sculptor working in the collectible industry.
Yeah, so another amazing artist. It's a pleasure having all these guys out here for the Sculpt-Off this year.
No, it's super fantastic. You want to switch over to our hard surface guys?
Sounds good.
Already. Oh man, see how far the skull has come? Like,
Yeah, it's way more mechanical than it was.
yeah, taking kind of just like a regular human skull and like really pushing and pulling it. I'm looking at the bottom
Bottom
middle. Just in case you guys are like, what skull? Where?
And that is Lucas Hardi.
I think so.
And so the two guys at the bottom, they are Bethesdans. Would that be the
Oh,
correct
so
word
that's
for
East
that?
Coast folk, right?
Yeah.
They make some good games.
So they got some Fallout stuff down there. You think we're gonna see anything resonating from the Fallout?
I
family
think
of stuff?
it.
The style, at least.
Well, okay, so they could either do it because they're like, I know everything there is to know about
Yeah.
this nuclear.
It's almost like cheating. I
Yeah.
think,
Or they could be like, I want to do anything except for
This is
Fallout-inspired stuff. No,
This is
because it
true.
goes both ways. Like, artists aren't just like, I'm going to draw only butterflies for the rest of my life. Like, no artist is. I don't
What's
know
wrong
of
with
any art.
drawing butterflies for the rest of my life?
Well, you'll get really good at drawing butterflies, but I don't know if you could, like, sustain your interest in butterflies.
Maybe,
right?
there's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of butterflies.
I
There's a lot of
challenge
subspecies.
you to, like, a week of butterflies.
Okay, we may do this.
Can you?
We may have to Instagram
You'll be
this.
like, it's
Me
a
and Jessica
robot
Drew on
butterfly.
Instagram. We're gonna ZBrush sculpt a butterfly for an entire week.
No, but so starting tomorrow, it's actually Inktober.
It is Inktober.
So
and
we
this-
could just do a bunch of ink
Mhm.
drawings of butterflies, and then everybody will be like, stop.
So if you're unfamiliar with Inktober, it's Jake Parker's monthly event he does in October. And you draw for how many days are in October?
There's 31 days because of Halloween. How do you not know that?
It's late. So 31 days. Each day you draw something in ink. But I would probably end up cheating and doing a ink render.
Would you really?
Yes,
Okay, now I kind of
yes.
want to see that. Please, for at least one a day.
I was thinking
And
about
then
it.
out
We'll see.
yourself
I did the March
also.
of Robots, which was Darren DaCosta's event. So
That's so cool.
31 robots did that month, and I'd like to do the October one, but it's just gonna be the time. I don't know if it's gonna
No,
happen.
I get you, but I mean, it could be like a little post-it note ink drawing. I mean,
No, I'd,
Oh, wait,
to
you-
I'd
if you
go
commit-
modeling and rendering out ink.
I want to at least see one. You can
One?
celebrate one day of Inktober.
Oh, we'll see how it goes.
But let's
get to
tell
the
them a
summit
little bit
first.
about the artists. We got Furio.
Furio.
He's
Great.
on the top left.
Yes, and he's
And-
our champion for the hard surface.
Yep. And you can see his champion techniques of
He
having
is.
his like concept all up with those orthos. Nicely drawn orthos, by the way. Not an easy skill.
No, and one thing about Furio, he's always like the chillest person in the room. So he's just over there like chilling out. He's probably gonna take like 20 smoke breaks.
Which is probably a good idea considering how warm the room is.
yeah.
But yeah, so he's a character artist for BioWare up in Montreal. Or is he still?
No.
He's
was.
currently is
Oh.
what it says. Are my notes old?
They might be. You can yell at Furio and ask him. Does he got headphones on?
But he worked on
Oh,
Mass
he's jamming
Effect.
out.
Oh, what if he does like Mass Effect inspired post-apocalypse?
We do have, if you wanna, we can research this a little bit further. There's probably more information on our Sculpt-Off page too for our contestants. Because I can't guarantee that I've translated the digital form to the paper format well. So you may have more information here on Furio.
I completely hold you accountable, man.
You can. I will let it happen. So while Jessica's looking that up, let's just want to quickly give a shout out to our sponsors. So Formlabs is generous enough to give us 2 of their Form 2 printers to give to our finalists, our winners of the competition. We also want to thank Keyshot, Wacom, Kotobukiya, Good Smile, Funko, and 3D for Medical. So thanks to all our sponsors here.
He is
for the
currently the senior character artist up at, yeah, that's what it says, current.
Okay.
I'm not
so,
wrong.
All right.
I mean, to be fair, he's very accomplished and has worked all over the place.
It is Furio.
So it's hard to keep up.
And if you guys caught Furio, if you didn't catch Furio's presentation last year at the ZBrush Summit, those are all can be viewed online. So if you go to YouTube and just type in, say, ZBrush Summit 2015 Furio. I'm sure you'll find it. It's an excellent presentation as well, and you guys can catch up on that in some downtime if you guys ever have it. So while you're not watching this, you can pull up Furio's video too and just rewind him back and forth.
A little time lapse. Do you think any of them are recording time lapse of their progress in ZBrush? Possibly one of my favorite features.
I don't know if anyone here are. I think there's, with some of the stuff we've had, it might be one of those things that it's just another level of things to remember.
Oh, that's true. Because it's so easy to turn it on and have it going.
Yes.
So easy. But then again, that's like an added level of don't make mistakes.
Don't make mistakes,
yeah.
And we're recording it anyway, so
that's
as we
true.
switch between these guys.
Yeah, not even worried. But yeah, next up, in the top middle, we've got Steven, right?
Steven Anderson. I like saying it in a British accent.
Ooh, fans.
A bad British accent.
Oh, man. So he's actually been a ZBrush instructor before.
He's bonkers.
Dude. Nice. So he lives here in Los Angeles and is like working and creating a bunch of like characters. Dang, ton of character artists here.
Yes, he's doing some interesting stuff with his model here. He's masking it out. So he's gone through and divided the mesh up, and now he's going in and applying masking to define his forms. This is another great way to work out different shapes on your models.
Is this the way that you work if you were to do hard surface?
Some. I vary. It depends on the day.
I just really like it because he can either use that masking to pull out polygroups or to create edge loops based on masking to like actually have really crisp and clean form.
A lot of versatility in that process there. So it's going to be interesting to see where he takes that.
Yeah, I really want to see, exactly, I want to see which direction he's going to go because you can take it so many different ways. And then next to him on the right is Andrea. And coming from Italy, actually, which that's so nice that we've got people from all
we actually
over.
may have got this switch. I think Andrea's doing the masking there. That's him. So Steven Anderson's on the first window. So Andrea's actually going through and masking the mesh out there.
Got it. I flipped.
So this should correlate.
Yep. I flipped it, and that's my bad.
Oh, we're good. So Steven Anderson's at the end. He's the one that's using the lightbox option to load in his reference, and now he's designing, and he's using a lot of, seems like, slices to generate different things, and he's probably going to go through and start possibly doing some Z-modeler brush to add some different forms, or maybe some extracts to bring that thickness out.
Yep.
So should be some cool stuff. You'll notice here as well, through all these contestants, you'll see some of them have customized UIs. So inside ZBrush, it's very easy to come through and customize ZBrush to your liking. So if you don't like a button in a certain spot, you can just pop it off. If you want it moved, you can just move it over. And this is one of those features that a lot of the power users use in anytime they use ZBrush, but if you're beginning, you may not be accustomed to it. So there's definitely a way to customize all your buttons and interface inside of ZBrush to make it your own. So you'll see a wide range of interface designs.
Yeah, you want to know like a dirty secret?
No.
I do not change my interface
I don't
at
either.
all. I keep it so vanilla.
Yep, mine's all vanilla, but I blame mine on
What's your excuse?
I gotta do tutorials.
Oh,
I can't
you
have all
want
this
it to be
customer
super
interface all over the place.
I'm always having mine reinstalled at work. And so I'm like, I don't want to set up. I have one user interface that I've spent a bunch of time setting up, and that's in Max. And every single time I get a new Max, I have to spend the first day
setting up all
setting
the
everything up, making sure all my hotkeys are working, and then like clumsily going through. So I'm like, you know what? Vanilla forever.
Vanilla forever. Well, we may convert you on that. We'll see.
I don't know. I do use hotkeys. I mean, I got that going for me, at least.
So is that all the hard surface ones we got?
No, we got to go for the bottom row.
Oh man, I
we
thought
got
we were
Dennis,
through that.
Lucas, and the other Joe.
The other Joe. Joe number 3.
Do you want to talk about Dennis?
Let's talk about Dennis.
So Bethesda, like you said.
Yeah, we did. We already brought up Bethesda.
Well, I mean, we brought up that we had people from Bethesda.
This is true.
But Dennis is one of them. And worked on Elder Scrolls, which, by the way, I love RPGs.
I'm ready for another one.
Yeah. Forever RPGs. I'm certain that he's done excellent work elsewhere, but that's the only one I care about. I'm like, please tell me more about your elves.
Tell me about the elves.
Tell me about all of your elves. I'm very focused. And then we've had 2 Lucases today.
We have. This is our second Lucas?
Yeah, so Lucas previous, already done. This is Lucas Hardi, also from Bethesda. I wonder if they like flew out together, because that's kind of a long trip, right?
It is. They might have. We also have them sitting by each other. This may have been coercion.
Ooh, healthy competition between
That's
teammates.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
A little more stress.
So like you said, they've been working on things like Fallout. So this post-apocalyptic stuff is their wheelhouse. I wonder if that's an unfair advantage.
We're debating that.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You're like, maybe
we
we shouldn't bring these guys because they're going to be really good. That's never a reason.
But if you look at all of the people here, they're all really good.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's a room full of talent. It means these computers, for all the students that have to use them after this, are just going to be filled with creative.
This is correct. You sit in this lab afterwards, and hopefully this stuff's going to just rub off.
You're going to be like 10 times smarter.
That's right.
It's like a +3
Osmosis.
to ZBrush.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we've got Joe Grundfast.
And he's doing some pretty awesome stuff here, starting with this very hard surface designs and moving things around.
That's some Terminator stuff.
It is. It's very cool. Very clean as well. So it's really interesting to see how fast these guys get to this stage. Like we're, 20 minutes in? And
Not even, yeah.
yeah, so we're not even 30 minutes in, and this is where they're at. So just the amount of speed. Now, we did give them a set of base meshes, and they could submit their own base meshes. So, but as you saw from, say, our contestant, Tan, he started from Sphere. So, we gave them a wide range of base meshes. If they had their own, they could submit them. And then if they were approved, then they could use them in the competition here.
Oh,
but we
right
tried to
on.
keep the playing field semi-level all the way through.
Yeah, and I know that a couple artists saw other base meshes and opted to submit a different one.
Yep,
And
we
it
had
totally
some modifications and making changes. So,
Yeah. So everybody feels like they're on a level field.
We also had we had to check their IMM brushes too. So if you see any custom IMM brushes that are loading in here, they have been kind of lowered as well because IMM brushes are extremely powerful. You can pretty much store an entire model on IMM and draw it out.
Damn.
So we had to double check all those. So we had
the
playing field level on that as well.
Yeah. Our finish the model
Yes,
brush.
finish the model brush.
It's nice to have one of those buttons. I need one for work.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Grapes of wrath.
We got distractions here.
Oh,
Louis
yeah.
Tucci, everybody.
Let's turn it on to the overall camera so they can see him walking around.
You can walk around.
Yeah.
Let's switch to the thing here. They're not gonna be able to hear you, but
We have Louis Tucci joining us here in the sculpting lab, and you can probably see him walking around.
Yeah.
Defending champion
So he's a little bit in
same
shadow
place
here.
At the same time. I got the grapes of wrath, G.I. Joe.
He's carrying around grapes. They have not been in his pants yet.
Nope.
Grapes of wrath.
He has not thrown them. I think we're okay.
Yeah. But you can see everybody's looking really
Yeah.
confident
So
right now.
this is another handicap we've issued the contestants here. We send Louis in to distract him.
Yes, because he distracted the first group. It was only fair that
It's
the
only
second
fair
group
that we bring Louis back in for the second
for
group.
high fives, back rubs, and grapes.
Yep. And you see, there's Louis right now, eating the grapes
Yep.
inside.
Encouraging
the
this whole
Noman
group
campus.
of artists.
And if you guys are watching the Sculpt-Off and you want to see more Louis, he is doing the interviews after the presenters go in the main stage. So he's going to pull them all into the hot seat and question them about their usage and what they do and who they are. So definitely tune into that after each presentation and see the Louis Tucci in his element.
Speaking of elements, Joe, let's talk about it here. What do we got going on? Give me the rundown.
So this is our group 2 for the ZBrush Sculpt-Off here for 2016. This is the last group of the day here. So we did our first group this morning and they finished up. So that was 12 contestants,
Get your money on.
6 hard surface, 6 organic. And then this is the second group of 12 contestants, 6 hard surface, 6 organic. So I don't have any, I cannot have a biased opinion on
You don't
anyone.
have a dog in the races. as they
I do
say.
not have a dog in the
Oh,
races, that's
nope.
correct.
Here
Nope.
we go. You want a grape?
Where has it been? Let's,
Absolutely nowhere. Just
okay,
right
in his hand, yes.
Right?
Louis
Look at
Tucci,
that.
everybody, hanging out
You see
grapes.
that? You can learn a thing or two from her. I'm going to leave it to it. You're brave enough to just say, you know what, I don't care where it's going. Give me that grape.
I question it. I always question.
Well,
All
he
right, Louis Tucci has left the building. So if you want to see more Louis, definitely tune into the interviews. They're excellent. I highly recommend checking them out. All right, so we're going to go back to the organic now, and we're going to go back and forth like this for a few more minutes with this, and then we'll switch into the sets of these guys. So you guys can see a little bit closer of this, and we'll break it down in 2x2s, so you can see a little more screen real estate on these. But we just wanted to
yeah.
get through the initial push they're all doing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you can see everybody kind of how they work.
And just how many different techniques are being employed at the first 30 minutes of the sculpting competition.
You see Briley's got, man, he's got some cool stuff going on up there. And if Tan here in the upper right, like that all started from a sphere. So in less than 30 minutes,
He's got this
taken a
crazy
sphere
face.
to that face. It's pretty impressive.
Dude, all these guys are impressive.
And so this is another thing that just the creativity in which ZBrush has unlocked for a lot of these artists. You know, if they're traditional, non-traditional, it's definitely changed the way that digital modeling has happened. So
No,
you're
it's
not
super
pushing
true.
and pulling. You know, you're not moving individual vertices, turning edges.
Yeah, this isn't math anymore. This is
No,
actually
this
art.
is art, yeah. And with things like Dynamesh, you can just expand your model out and re-Dynamesh. It's going to
Yeah, don't
retessellate
even
and
worry
even that
about
surface out. Yeah.
Yeah, don't even worry about topo until you're done making your
Exactly,
character, because
exactly.
like characters change all the time, and heaven forbid
Especially
you
with
not
art
have enough
direction. They always change.
Super true. Nah, just really cool to see. Do you want to start going 2 by 2 to see our?
Yeah, let's go into the 2x2s here. Let's get that going here. We got our Louis Tucci out of us.
2 by Tucci.
2x Tucci.
I love the puns. I'm a horrible person to be hosting with.
Oh, you're so punny. All right, so here's our set one here. So for all these dual slides you're going to see here, the organic side is always going to be on the left, and the hard surface is always going to be on the right. You'll see the contestants' names at the bottom of the image here. So you can see we've got Ton here on the side,
Oh, we do.
and Steven Anderson.
Nice.
And so we can now look at these guys and see what they're kind of doing. So this is going to allow you to kind of see a little larger view of the group here.
You want to know what's really cool about these two? They both started off with a sphere.
This is true, they did.
So like,
It's a direct comparison to how to take a sphere to hard surface
yeah.
and organic.
No, it's just really kind of cool because like, two vastly different approaches, but equally awesome. And I can't wait to see where it like ends up.
It's really nice. It's just amazing how fast these guys work too. Extremely fast.
Well, I think that the people who work fast are the ones that are like, yeah, I totally want to do the Sculpt-Off competition because I want that kind of stress and pressure in my life.
They're all ADD.
They're all into this. They like this kind of hardcore, high pressure.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes back to production pipelines and overtime and crunch.
Super true.
And yeah.
Super true. But no one's paying me in a 3D printer.
This is true.
I would work
This is
pretty
true.
fast for a 3D printer.
We can contact your your management and be like, Jessica said she'd work just for a 3D printer.
Well, I mean, for like a couple. Don't you give them any ideas?
So very different tasks here going on. And you see the UI changes between the two applications as well. So, you know, customizing the UI.
Mm-hmm.
Steven here has gone to the route of, you know, lightening his UI up. So even you can change the color in your UI as you work inside of ZBrush here.
Oh, nice. There he is, adding the thickness.
Yeah, so that was that. Did he look like using an extract, or was that ZModeler? Did he go to a menu?
No, there was no menu.
Yeah, so I think he might have went to the ZModeler brush and pulled that out, and now he's using masking with those polygroups that are created from the ZModeler brush
So
to allow him to
rad.
refine some more of this form.
Yeah.
So this model is going to be very, very clean.
Yep. Well,
And
that's hard surface, right?
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Although some of the hard surface guys work in sculpture and
Yeah,
then
you can
clean
polish
it
it.
up.
Yeah, so definitely there's multiple ways to do it. There's no right way. So you
Nope.
could start with like ZModeler brush. You could also just sculpt your model and then start using the H polishes and the polish features
Whatever works
to
for you.
describe those forms.
So rad. I'm
All
really
right.
liking everything that's going on right here.
It's looking good.
Our second bundle.
So here's our
Oh.
set 2. So we got Briley for the organic and Andrea for the hard surface there. So this
Nice.
was the masking you saw. So he took the masking and he did an extract, and now he has this cage
smart,
kind of effect.
smart.
This exoskeleton. That's very pretty.
No, that's a
Oh.
really cool design.
Whoa, what happened over here on Brett's?
He unhid everything, and he's already got this vicious monster.
Wow.
I wonder how much of that he's gonna have in his final frame for his for like the composition, because
Now I promise you, he did not have this in the mesh that he started with.
Nope.
30 minutes ago.
he had like the proportions
Yeah.
and some like polygons, but nothing like this.
No, there was no teeth. There was none of this sculpting. There was none of this form fleshed out. That's pretty much.
We really
insane.
should have been watching his computer
We
for the
should.
last 30
We
minutes.
should.
Really sorry about not showing you all of that, but now we just are gonna see what he's gonna do with 2 hours, right?
Yes. So this,
Like-
this is only 30 minutes in. So he's got what, another 2 hours and a half?
Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
do you
really
think he could do
interesting.
like 5 of these? Like, I mean, what would the, like, would that just destroy competition if you ended up sculpting 5 of these
Oh, man.
in 3 hours?
We're like, okay, he's just got to ship it and then make a bunch more.
Yeah.
So
We're only accepting 1 image, though. So
I was just going to say, if he submitted like 2 separate characters, then he'd have 2 chances.
So the final output for the Sculpt-Off here is a single image. So this is all going to be camera-based. So we've done Sculpt-Offs in the past that have required 3D printing. So this time it's all camera perspective and just one final image outputted out, and that is what the voting for the Sculpt-Off is going to be based on. So they can skip around and not have to focus on the entire model for this Sculpt-Off here.
No, but that's really smart because people who are voting on it can really only see the final image.
This is true, yeah. Especially if it's a 3D print.
Yep. Although I've seen like a really cool program that allows you to like kind of navigate around inside of a 3D model.
Yes, so Sculpt-Go.
Is that what it is?
I need to get the right word.
But there's a company out there that's doing the thing, and it's really cool because I got to navigate through some models that were submitted for a competition at Blizzard, and it was really, really fantastic. But I actually really like the end image because it also gives the artists, with their only 3 hours of time, to concentrate on exactly what's going to be seen versus like, hey, why don't you stress out about everything? Hard surface is just rad.
Yes.
It's because it's different than my day-to-day that's why I'm like extra enjoying it. I'm not biased for one or the other, but Sketchfab, that makes sense.
Yes, Sketchfab is the application there. There is a plugin for Sketchfab for ZBrush as well, which will allow you to take your model and you can send it right to Sketchfab, and then you can view your model in a browser. So do a process involving decimation, export all the files out, import them all in, and then you get kind of a 3D viewer model. So really cool technology that different ways to view meshes you've created inside of ZBrush and share around the world. So really cool program. So that is Sketchfab. All right, so let's move on to our next set here. So this is set number 3. So we have Vichar and Furio. Vichar is all the way from India.
I'm so happy that we have people from all over.
It's excellent.
That's good. Because it's all about, like, the whole ZBrush community is worldwide. Like, ZBrush Central, all of that, just from all over. And just being able to open up the competition to everybody who just wants to and can create something rad in 3 hours. And
it also just shows the accessibility, especially with, just technology and everything else. Like, we're a worldwide entity. And so, we're used all over, and definitely extremely excited to have people, especially in the competition here, from studios all over the place.
So awesome. Wow. I like the character. I'm really interested to see, and I want to be watching when he brings in a bunch of like post-apocalyptic elements to it because it's a beautiful looking sculpt. I like the lip. The handling of like the lip mouth area is really pretty.
And I know he has a lot of guys and a lot of friends in India watching, so very cool.
Please tweet him your support with
That's
just like the hashtag ZBrush Summit, because he'll see those later when he's out of crunch mode. This is hardcore crunch mode. That 3D printer is on the line.
Yes.
And the belt.
And the belt.
And the bragging rights.
And the bragging rights.
And then Furio.
Yeah, so next, talk about Belt. He's the current champion for the hard surface here. You can see his name tag gets yellow. Is that yellow?
Yeah. So he's like the king.
That's the champion, it's the champion symbol there.
He's the king checker.
He is. And last year he sculpted a praying mantis. And that was his winning entry there.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Yep. So very, very cool sculpt. And you can see him here. He's going to work some of his magic on this kind of stuff.
I want to see what he's going to do.
Watch him navigate this open menu.
I know, but I want to know what he's opening. He's going to tease us, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to. We're going to give him a second here. There we go. I don't know what he opened. Maybe he's saved.
That is actually really, really valuable.
And Furio's done some classes in the past, tutorials and training videos too. So you can search for those online. I'm pretty sure they're probably still being streamed.
Yeah, it seems like almost everybody here has given back to the art community in some way.
It's really amazing, and a lot of the talent, a lot of the artists that use ZBrush are very willing to help.
Yes.
Expand the knowledge of the program.
Share techniques,
show
behind the
reach
scenes.
other artists, yes. And so it all contributes to the global artistic community.
It's really rad. You guys are awesome.
All right, let's go to our next set here. So this is set number 4.
It's going to be Erick.
Erick Sosa. So this is our organic champion. There he
Oh.
is. he knows. He knows we're listening.
Yeah, that's right.
Or this is just how he views his model. Just
Yeah. Well, he's getting into character by having his model rock out.
This is true. So very cool stuff here.
I really like the attitude of this character. It's already got like this like baked in expression of
Yes.
just like like pure joy. This guy was ready for the apocalypse.
He was.
Ready
He's happy
and
for it.
prepared. Yeah, no, like this is the person that you should fear. Not the guy dressed up as like the Grim Reaper, but
This
the
is
guy
right,
who
yeah,
looks super thrilled.
Yes. To
that
be
today
in
is
the
happening.
apocalypse, yes. I love the the usage here. That is one of the looks like the ZBrush primitive he's got sticking out his head there. It's a nice touch.
Oh, nice.
So
Little chainsaw mohawk.
yeah. But the expression on him looks great. So
Oh, I wonder if he's just chopped in the head by a
could be.
bandsaw. Is it a bandsaw? No. What is it?
Not a bandsaw.
Well, it's a saw.
Circular saw.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Table
used it.
saw.
Yes, it is a table saw. Most terrifying piece of hardware I've ever used. Because it's
Yeah.
loud
I
and
agree.
it's evil. And I sawed through a tire with it. And I was just like, oh, don't die.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Well, don't ever plastic. PVC and plastic, they're not good things to use on a table saw. Because you don't want, you get shrapnel. No one wants shrapnel.
Oh, I was wearing
Wear
all
glasses.
I was wearing glasses,
Armor,
and
glasses.
like
You want to keep your sculpting hand. Remember that.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
injure
but,
the
like,
sculpting hand.
fear.
Or
Do
the
you,
eyes.
you do a ton of like fabrication stuff. Do you work with power tools? And
I
do they
do work
scare
with power
you?
tools. I don't have very big or powerful
Oh,
power
okay.
tools. I probably am in more danger from non-sharp power tools. So it's
Oh,
like
so it's the electricity you're worried about?
yes, or the you got the X-Acto knives that you should have switched out like 3 days ago, and you're still using the same
Yep.
blunt one, and
Yep.
that's where you're gonna slice your finger. Yeah, so that kind of stuff.
Oh, I cut myself and stab myself all the time, but it is power tools that have me like my knees weak. I'm just like, I don't want to be using this.
Yeah, I try to stay away from saw usage too
Yeah.
much, especially for just random kit bashing. It's usually wood is the only thing I usually
Nice.
cut with saws.
Oh, but you have a 3D printer that prints in wood. So what's that called?
No, I have a CNC machine.
CNC
So
machine.
it
Well,
carves.
it's
the
like-
opposite. It's
it's
like,
like
a
a
3D printer. Yep,
printer.
exactly. It's the negative.
Subtractive.
Yep, subtractive.
And the angle, there's angle limitations.
There is, depending on how many axes you have. So it's just like a 3D printer.
So cool. Okay, and then on our right-hand side,
We have Dennis. And
I want to wait till he's unhidden some stuff because he's got something really cool going on. Oh, look how clean. It also helps that he's using this material.
yes,
That material
it does.
makes it
Yes.
look.
And this is another thing
so
inside
perfect.
of ZBrush. We have a wide range of materials. So you see a lot of your contestants will be using, the matte cap gray or the red wax. Those are usually the two primaries or the
Mhm.
basic material. But we have a library of materials you can switch to. And this just helps you get another view on your model. You can rotate around, see how the sheen's handling.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially since he's going to be rendering this,
Yes.
possibly. I'm not going to speak for him. I don't know what he's going to do in the end of it all. But if he is rendering out of Keyshot,
Yeah, and those
knowing how the shine
materials,
works.
yeah, and those materials too from ZBrush will transfer to Keyshot. So you can even
say
use
what?
materials in ZBrush in Keyshot if you want. So,
Overpowered.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's instant.
And it's
So very-
magically
very
wonderful.
So Dennis also did I think we did a Twitch session with him. So
Ooh.
if you go to our Twitch channel, or you may be watching Twitch, we're also streaming one of our feeds, I think our main feed through Twitch. But those were all backed up on Twitch, and so you can probably rewatch the Bethesda podcast on Twitch with Dennis. Then he goes over a lot of stuff and talks about assets that were made in the game and things like that. And that is on our Twitch channel, which is, I believe, just Pixelogic on Twitch. All right, so let's go to our next group here. And I also want to point out, if you have any questions about anything that's kind of being shown here, definitely hit up our Twitter account, which is hashtag ZBrush Summit.
Yeah, I
and
mean-
just ask your question. We have a group of guys that are on our Twitter
Yeah.
feed right now, and
They
they'll
are
be happy
on
to
it.
answer. They'll send you links to stuff. If you don't see what you're looking for or they can't help you can also use our hashtag AskZBrush. I do a lot of that back and forth for that program we've been working on. So we have 130, I think, videos on Ask ZBrush now, covering a wide range of things. So if you have a question in usage and workflows inside of ZBrush, you can just shoot a Twitter message to that. And
So I
we'll
just kind
answer
of
it.
looked at the, I've got the live stream up on
Oh,
an
okay.
alternate computer, and there's
Uh-huh.
like a whole chat going on there. I cannot watch this feed and also watch the whole chat thing, so I can't answer questions on Twitter. But I mean, if you really do have questions, ask the Twitter guys. They
Yes,
know all the
they know all
stuff.
the
They're
stuff.
going to give you
Yeah.
like their real time and attention versus us typing
That's
back
right.
into the chat.
That's
We
right.
want to talk about sculpting and art and showing
Randomness.
making sure you're seeing all the cool moments that everybody's doing here.
So onto that, we got Dmitry here. And you can see he's already into like the detail area for his model. So he's already got the eyes in. And so he took some spheres and then he's applied some different mapping to those to get that kind of effect. And then next to him we have Lucas Hardi. So the other Lucas that we, the second Lucas of the day. And he's going with almost like a drone effect for his mech here. And you see right now he's using solo with dynamic. So he has dynamic
Ooh.
turned on. So if you rotate around the model, it's going to just isolate or solo the piece he's working on. And this is sometimes
Clever.
helpful in just seeing the part by itself until you
Mhm.
release, and then I'll go back to the whole model. So
That's really cool.
you see he's manipulating the shapes and forms to get what he wants out of it.
Is this like the jaw piece to his robot, or?
I think so, but he's got like some like flying wing things too when he shows it all again. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Could be landing gear.
Super cool. Oh, and he's using the like the slicing.
Clip slice or
Thank
the
you.
trim brush, one of the two.
You're
the
the
clip-
technical advisor here. I like
The clip brush will take the surface that's the topology that's there and it's going to mash it to where it needs to go. The trim brush will perform a slice and then it'll perform a close holes. And then the slice brush will just add a new edge loop where that line is. So all sorts of different little functionalities inside of ZBrush to allow you to clip, trim, and slice your models as you're working.
Yep, that overpowered hard surface stuff.
Yeah, so this is a great another little way to do hard surface features inside of ZBrush.
I'm really digging what Dmitry's doing with the facial features. Like, this is definitely a terrifying post-apocalyptic character.
He's got some scarring. I'm interested to see how it gets rendered out for his final. It's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be gory.
Do you think he's gonna be like all mechanical jawed?
Could be. He's got some mechanical
Robo jaw?
tubes or pipes or.
We will see.
We
But
will
there's
see.
definitely some like scarring leading into that jaw.
He looks like your regular guy that's been transformed.
Well, and also with a bite out of his ear.
This is true. Maybe he works for Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra. As we saw, I did post on my Instagram feed. We found out that Paul works for Hydra. Yeah, he had the emblem in his office.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so be careful. All right, so now here is set 6 here. So we have Joe Menna for organic and Joe Grundfast for our other one.
Oh, I'm digging this.
Man, Joe's got some cool stuff on here.
Yep.
You can see the years of sculpting for toys and comic lines are paying off here for Joe.
Oh, yeah. Is it because of like major silhouette?
Yeah, well, just
And,
the
like,
style
heroic,
too. Like, yeah,
too.
yeah. It's very cool stuff.
Very, very. I love those eyes. Do you think he's going to be like kind of posing this character for the final frame, or are we going to get like this
Probably,
nice,
well,
serious face front?
Joe did mention he doesn't use symmetry a lot, so he may just be going like he's using symmetry here, but
Well, this is only 3 hours.
this is true, yeah. But he's more accustomed to just pretty much 100% asymmetry, so
he's
working
a
out of the
beast.
pose, yeah. So we'll see what he does. It's a nice gash he's got on the top of the head there.
Oh, dang. This guy's been
And Joe's been doing a
destroyed.
lot of live video stuff on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
So
he
if you
totally
follow him
has.
there, he's been doing a lot of these little live chat things,
Yeah. if
showing
you
his
wanna
different
learn
processes
more.
and how he works, yeah. Excellent stuff.
And our other Joe,
And our other Joe, look at this. We got 2 Joes on a slide.
and a
Jojo.
Joe talking about it.
And so, yeah, so we got Joe Grundfast over here, and he's doing a lot of crazy hard surface stuff here. He's the one that had that really clean, like, mask with the eyes and the jaw we saw
Mhm,
earlier.
mhm.
So, and he's already starting to look like almost pose his mesh here.
Well,
It has
he's
some
got a
twist
lot
in
of
it.
like, he blocked out a ton of the anatomy using primitives, and is now going in with one piece that he sculpted. You can tell that it's like
Yeah,
the same sort of
manipulating it,
sculpt, and then
duplicating
like.
it, yeah.
So we're gonna see. This is, I think, the ab area of his character. So I'm really.
And this brings
kind
up that like repeating shapes we were talking about in the first group.
Yeah.
just keeping stuff repeating. Because if you have a character and, he works for some company or some division or some military unit, you'll have one strap, and then they're probably going to make more of that same strap. So if you have a strap here, you're going to have that same strap somewhere else. So
Yep. And there's like a
repetition in
cohesion of that
shapes,
design.
So not everything is going to be made 100% custom. So it's reusing assets to your...
Well, definitely to your advantage.
To your
given the
advantage,
times.
yes. There we go.
Yeah, our timeline here is a beast, and these guys need to take every trick in the book.
So we're almost down to 2 hours here. So we're at 2 hours and 13 minutes left for Group 2 here.
But they're totally going to own it. All right, so far, how do you feel that these guys are about an hour in compared to the last group about an hour in?
Let's go back to the main and let's see what we got here. So here is our organic guys. So
the monster is going to be so top middle was the large bulky monster, and he's got like a little baby papoose monster.
Oh my gosh, he is just going overboard. It's gonna be crazy.
And then we've got a lot of stellar, like fully fleshed out.
We got some noisemaker usage down here from Dmitry.
Show me more.
Oh, and it looks like Erick just used Transpose Master possibly. So he's posing now. It appears.
Nice.
It looks like those arms went down. The arms look like they went down.
Yeah.
And he's doing some masking here to get some probably head rotation.
I want his character to be cackling or or I don't know. I just want to see what he does.
So this is gonna be pretty cool. And then Tan's just still killing it. All that traditional sculpting is coming out. And you can see just the quality of the brush strokes there is giving like really nice forms on that model.
Yeah, I think that's going to end up rendering really, really
we got some more noise
really
maker
well.
over from Vichar.
Ooh. I wonder if he's going to bring in kind of like a sort of techie look to what he's doing.
Yeah, some different technical stuff and bring it in.
Interested to see.
Very cool. All right, so let's head over to our hard surface guys. This is where they're at.
Yeah, so bottom right, you can see like how it's this full plated like anatomy. So it's definitely anatomy based, but he's going in and like really teching up each little piece. So we have everything from like androids to like robots to...
We got Furio up there adding some different blades on the back of the character.
Or antennas.
Antennas.
He's got good cell signal.
He does. He gets 3G, that's for sure.
For sure.
And then I like the aspect that Andrea's using there. He's carving in some detail lines on his exoskeleton.
Oh.
And then we got Steven Anderson over on the top there. The top left. And he's got, look at that, he's got like this whole like face thing out now.
It's got such character.
Yeah.
I got to peek at his second monitor since he's like right in front of us. So I kind of have an idea of what he's aiming for.
Oh, I see now. You guys are going to be...
Yeah, you guys are going to be very, very
That's
pleased.
Pretty cool. Oh man, yeah, just looking around, even got Andrea's got his stuff up too.
Oh yeah.
It's really interesting. The second monitor hides the concept. You guys can't see it.
Well, to be fair, it's just they mostly have like either their reference up on the second monitor or a concept that they have built for themselves. And I think you'd be more interested in watching them create what they're going to create than the static image.
Well,
we're showing what's
we're getting to the static image.
Well, but I mean,
yeah.
During the live sculpting.
I gotcha. You want to see what the process
I want to
is.
see all their secrets. Please teach me your ways, everyone.
Yeah, because sometimes just like a little bit that you'll see one of these guys do, and it's just going to help your entire workflow. So it's
super true.
Definitely really awesome seeing these guys work and just what they do for speed. And also, you'll occasionally see them make mistakes. I haven't seen any mistakes made.
No,
but,
not really.
No, they're still artists. Yeah.
Now, but one of the things I always really value from seeing good artists work is that you get all intimidated, right? Like somebody who's an obvious badass, who's wonderful at sculpting, and you're like, I could never do what they do. They're just so amazing. And then they go in and they use stuff you're familiar with and methods you're familiar with, and you're like, oh, there's no secret sauce. It's just effort.
Yeah, it's effort and dedication, and it
makes it accessible, or it makes it at least inspiring.
more accessible, for sure. And a lot of these guys too, for their brushes and things they use, they'll, the guys that are pushing the bar on the art and expanding the stuff, they only use like 4 or 5 brushes. So you don't need to have like an arsenal of all these things. There's oftentimes it's not really any tricks. It's just putting the work in.
Yep.
Is the main thing.
Yeah, it's all about that mastery, artistic mastery.
So if you want to get to this level, one of the best things is just sculpt every day.
Sculpt, post on ZBrush Central.
That's right.
Get feedback.
Sculpt some more. And don't be afraid to throw stuff out. That's another one.
Yeah, don't become so attached to something that you can't just drop it when it's not working.
Exactly. So you should see, I have a library of stuff that's just trash.
Oh, I have closets full. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm just like, ugh. And actually, I find it really helpful to post things that you failed at, because then it gives everybody who's maybe just starting out a little bit more confidence to fail. Because failing is just as important as succeeding.
It's part of the process.
Very much so.
All right, let's hop back to the organic here for these guys. Oh, we got some spikes. We got some missing arms.
No big deal. Just a flesh one.
Just a flesh one. Telling you, I got the Army of Darkness poster behind me. It's a trick. Get an axe.
These guys are so good. We're getting just such a good variety of
a little crazy papoose
other worlds.
Is crazy. We got some tattoos going on up there.
The papoose?
Is it? Yeah, the papoose. Vichar's got some, looks like tattooing he went for the edge there. And he's using all the masking and grouping here to break down the forms. I wonder if he's unwrapping. We haven't seen anyone use the UV master, but he might be up there doing it.
I use that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to think about this. I just need a dang UV.
Mm-hmm.
Blit.
It's excellent for straps. If you ever need to do any sort of straps, just grab your things. It'll expand them all out, put them in little chunks, and then you just go in and straighten them.
So smart.
It is. It works well. Man, so we got almost like the demon now from... he's got some horns going on here.
Yeah. See, you start out with all this strong anatomy and then add in
building
elements.
up on top of it,
Yeah, make it a character.
Really nice.
Super cool. And then Erick's is like, he's jet powered or
just raged out.
Or diesel powered.
Yes. He's got the serum and he's pumped through.
Yep. Or those are just like nuclear warheads he's just installed in his spine.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of Iron Man. Like we went for the spine.
Just straight to the source.
All right, you want to go back to the groups here? What time we got? So we're about 2 hours left on our Sculpt-Off here. We're going to go for another 30 minutes, and then we're going to take a little break. So
yeah, let's go through pairs.
Yeah, we're going to go through the pairs again.
We want those close-ups.
Let's go hit those guys up so you can see the stuff a little bit closer here. Now you guys have a reference for this. Oh, here we are.
All of us. Everybody working hard.
You can see they're all concentrating. See they're using their second monitors for reference.
Yeah. All that joy and chatting that happened in the first 5 minutes, completely gone.
It's gone.
It is serious business now.
Laser focused. Laser focused. One thing last year we saw some guys had like all YouTube videos they were playing. Like
really?
One of the guys was playing had like a whole snowboard thing. He was just watching snowboard videos.
That's how I work. Like I have just some like audio interesting going on in my side screen. I usually never mind. I'm not going to tell you what I listen to because it's morbid. Anyway, a lot of true crime podcasts because it's so opposite of what I'm working on. I'm working on like elves and orcs and stuff. Yeah. Ooh, look at how he's pulling out all these like.
Yeah, it looks like snake hook brush. Has he got the snake hook brush or the move brush?
No, that might be move topo or with like a nice focus point on it.
Yeah. Draw size might be set a little bit.
It's really smart.
And he's already got that little bit of that asymmetry in there. Got the eyes established and just fleshing out all his forms.
Yeah. In my apocalypse, I do not want to meet this guy on the street.
No.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's creating something that I feel is going to be helping me in the apocalypse.
Maybe Steven Anderson here.
Oh, his helpful robot?
His helpful robot.
Okay. All right. Steven Anderson, your guy can stay.
He's the only one. But you don't know. It could be the bad short circuit. Could be bad Johnny 5. You don't know. You know, he's converted and then he starts firing everything all over the place. You gotta watch out. Bad Chappie.
Evil Chappie. No. Yeah, post-apocalyptic. Basically everything's out to get you.
Here's a good thing from tan here with his pulling these forms out. So he did a little masking, and now he's making this pretty interesting transition from these spikes he added. That underlying mesh makes them look like they're bursting through.
Yeah, super smart. Well, because like when you have two subtools kind of colliding into each other, how you resolve the integration between the two is really cool. And can either be obviously digital art, or it can be like really sneaky, oh, how did they make this?
Yes.
And just adding those like little areas that he pulled up is like such a smart way to approach that integration.
We got some IMM brush usage and modification with the curves over here.
Over in Steven?
Anderson. Yeah.
Nice. Add in those tubes. And I love how quickly he can kind of like reorient them or drape them.
Yeah, move them around, change them. It's just like you're not really constrained to the form after you get there. You can play with it, massage it, make it work for you. It's really nice.
A little bit of noodling those noodles.
All right, let's go on to our second set here. So we have Brett Briley with his crazy creature. I don't have his other monsters here somewhere. Where'd it go? You can see the one with all the appendages, and now he's working on the...
Well, it's hidden right now. He's working on the papoose.
The papoose. I want to know where it's going to go.
In its mouth.
It could. He could be eating it.
Oh, okay, so he's got... Okay, and I'm trying to figure out what he's going to do by predicting. Hey! But, like, trying to predict what he's going to do, because I want to be surprised, honestly. Like, I want to be very surprised where he takes the character, because, like, already he's got this, like, bubbling, crazy creature that had arms and all this stuff, and now he's got a papoose, so, like, what's going to be the focus of his image? What's going to really sell this?
Maybe he's picking the babies up off the ground. You never know. You never know. Baby papoose.
Or the baby could be bursting out of the monster, and it's just like,
as
you
we
don't
talked
want to
about
meet
before,
this
the
baby.
Master Blaster type
Master
scenario.
Blaster!
Yeah. So here we have Andrea. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about this back view here and all the detailing he's put in here. Do you think this is going to be included in his camera angle?
What if it's like turning? No, because you can't really get front and back.
Unless he clones them and puts two in a scene, then
Oh,
you're going to be able to see the back
never
and
mind.
the front.
See, you already found a solution of like how he can get all of his awesomeness in one frame.
But I wonder what's going to turn out.
I am endlessly excited. No,
2 hours to find out.
They've got plenty of time. Lol, by the way, because 3 hours is not a lot of time, and yet look what they've done in 1 hour.
Yes.
Like I want that one printed. That's really cool. I want a little mini one for my desk.
Yep, just sitting on the desk there. Turn it into a mouse.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Like a little mouse and have like legs just like kind of like trailing behind it. So you're just like
the mouse, like
you're just
little
using
papoose. And then of course the buttons would have to be like 2 teeth maybe. Yeah.
I want you to
can make
design
this
mouse,
happen.
please.
We can make this happen. We'll have to ask Brett after this if we could turn his.
I just kind of want to drag like a little like something across my mouse pad while I work.
With a trail of slime.
Yep.
That'd be interesting.
Yes.
The cleanliness of what Andrea's got here too is really nice. Those lines he's got carved in are really sharp.
Well, it's a sign of like hard surface modeler. He knows what he wants and is very like approaching it so methodically. You know, it's smart.
All right, so let's go on to our next group here. I want to give a shout out quick to our sponsors. So Form Labs is one of our main sponsors here for the Sculpt-Off this year. We also have Keyshot for allowing us the licenses of the Keyshot Pro and for usage with the ZBrush, the Keyshot Bridge. Then we have Wacom for supplying the tablets and Cintiqs the contestants are using.
Yep.
And then also a whole other range of prizes here from Kotobukiya, Good Smile Company, Funko, and 3D for Medical. And I'm just going to cut to our feed here quick before we go back into here. And I just want to show these belts quick here. Let's see if we, can pull those up.
Because these prizes are great, but also you have bragging rights and a really rad thing to place at your desk at work.
Yes. So these are the belts that the winners are going to be taking out, and these things are massive.
Yeah,
these are
very
hardcore. Heavy. Like these are your WWE, WWF style belts here. So this is not your Halloween area.
I'm just going to hang out here like this.
They're heavy too.
They're going to have to
I think we tried to wear these last year, and it was just too much.
No, it's warm in here, and these belts are heavy, so try getting this through the airplane.
Yes, it's going to be fun for them. We
may have to ship them. This year,
we may have to ship it to the winners. We'll find out.
What? They don't get to just take it home on Sunday?
They could, but you got to go through security. It's up to you.
A suitcase? I mean, I would love to explain this to a TSA officer. I'd be like,
I'm the undisputed champion.
Oh, that's just how amazing I am. I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. I'm the organic sculpting modeling champion.
All right. Okay, so yeah, so here's our prizes as well in the back behind here.
Yes.
This is some of the ones that the contestants will possibly be winning, depending on
Yes.
where they're at. So let's go.
Depending on your votes.
That's right, on your votes. The link here for this is up at the top on this screen, right up here at the top. So after these go live, they'll be living at the summit.pixelogic.com/sculptoff.php. We've also asked our contestants not to post their images on their own social medias to kind of keep it a little bit down to the images that are going to be final, so you get like kind of a level playing field here. So, but the voting will be opening soon for that, and you can vote on your favorite image from both groups, so Group 1 and Group 2. So a total of 24 images will be up to be voted on. And that can be done at summit.pixelogic.com/sculpt-off.php. And we'll do another run of that URL at the end of our competition as well. So here we have our organic guys again. So this is all 6 of them and where they are at for this second group. So you can see they're all moving along nicely. You can see Erick Sosa down the bottom is really starting to push out his forms now and make this look, you know, really bulked out. So he's getting some really nice shapes in there. And it's just amazing. Like, we're an hour into this, and this is where the guys are at. So pretty much a lot of these could be, you know, final. Like, we could just go ahead and we should just only give them an hour. I don't know why.
Oh
we
my
gave 'em
goodness.
3
Can you
hours.
imagine? Like, oh, we could do sculpt off prelims. You have 1 hour
Yeah.
from a sphere.
Uh-oh.
Bam.
What's this containment chamber?
Yeah.
Brett
Like
Briley's
100
making out here?
sculptors.
Look at this.
Wait.
He's in like a little.
He's planning on using different materials to make that see-through. The crazy, creepy monster is going to be holding the papoose baby. My mind is blown. He's got such a complex story going on.
Wow. Yeah, this one, it's going to a whole level when we start going into environmental props. Look at this. And it's going to be 3 hours. 3 hours and done. It's going to be insane.
So cool what they're doing.
I hope he's saving. I hope he's saving, doing a
Of course
lot
they
of
are.
saving.
Actually, we have the autosaves on set for like
We do.
every 10
We've
minutes.
turned the autosaves down, so if there is any issues, they'll
Yeah, we
hopefully
were
be okay.
not.
Save your work.
We
We're
are
gonna keep
not
streaming it.
messing around with these guys. We had one technical issue last
And it was,
round.
it was the drive went out. So it wasn't software related, it was
Nope.
hardware related.
Yeah, the computer. I think it has to do with the warmth of this room.
It
The
might have been.
The computer was just like, yay.
kaputted. Yes.
Yes.
So hopefully
Noman
we
will
forego
appreciate us like
fixing
really
that one. Yeah.
fixing it. More like terrorizing their computer into submission.
This is true. We broke it. But so hopefully we cross our fingers, knock on some wood. We don't have
Yeah.
any of those for this group of contestants here.
Nah, everybody seems to be saving often, looking solid. Oh
is
my
good.
goodness.
Furio's
Ooh.
got
I just
skulls
saw.
on spikes.
So he starts with. Did he start with a skull, or
He
is that?
started with just like, I think it was almost like just like a sphere. I don't think he started with
Dang.
much.
Yeah, I think he like just a weird little shape, and now he's got this crazy evil robot that has human skulls stabbed in his stabby antennas.
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting all the Wi-Fi and also your friend.
Yep. Speaking of role playing games, it's kind of like a Rift universe type thing.
Ooh, yeah.
They had those mech skull robots in that series.
Dang. So I have never played. I've played a lot of stuff, but I have not played Rift.
I have a lot of the books. I can't say I've ever played.
It's really hard to not want to buy every single book
Yes.
because it's just all this world building, concept art, thought provoking conglomeration. Okay, the Vampire the Masquerade books. I love reading everything inside of those. Like, beyond just the art, but also learning the difference between 1 dot in computers and 5 dots in computers. Or 1 dot in athletics versus 5 dots. Or celerity,
Just
like all
what
of
does it,
that.
yeah.
I love it. And I would just read those for fun. I am a nerd.
That's okay.
But I'd
I'm
read
right
them
there
for
with you.
fun, and I got
I have
so
a whole
inspired.
library of nerd books. Most of them are all
Aw.
art books and nerd books. So
I need a new bookshelf to fit all my nerd books.
I'm up to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 bookshelves now.
How many of it is comics, and how much of it is art books?
My comics live elsewhere.
So you're like, these aren't even counting my
No,
comics.
Not even counting comics.
Don't even get me.
There's a sickness. I have it.
Which is I want to have stuff sickness?
I do use them as reference materials quite often for a
I
lot
use
of
them all
things.
the
I pull
time.
them out, flip through them. I also like the tangible elements of books.
No, exactly. Like having these books propped up next to your workspace, or if you're like, I'm kind of strapped for ideas, but I'm kind of going for a thing. I've got a lot of fashion books, like high end, so like Alexander McQueen. Like those silhouettes, some of that stuff ends up being super helpful when you're thinking about maybe like a fantasy wizard character, and you want to dress them up. Like, well, I'm pretty certain you're a wizard. By making their outfit out of magic, would totally think of something epic and wonderful and high fashion and avant-garde.
Not just like the rags. Like
No,
you're a
exactly.
wizard.
Like
you could wear anything. What are you doing?
Prestidigitation, like level 0 spell, they can figure that stuff out. Not even. I'm geeking up this feed.
You
Let's
are
go back to
totally- you're
sculpting.
totally geeking up this feed.
Sculpting.
All right, let's go back to the organic here, and then we'll go and run through some sets here. Oh, look at this. We got some Romanesque,
Nice.
Greek kind of styling from Tan here. Look at that.
And his computer screen is right next to ours, and he actually has like an old Roman bust up, like really like kind of capturing how they did their folds in marble. It's so smart. So it's gonna be like this really aristocratic kind of demon dude with his like scaly face and all that.
I like it. It's very cool.
So cool.
All right, so we got the pods in the middle there, where the baby papoose is gonna live.
And he's actually doing some like material editing right now, right?
Yeah.
I see color. It's not just my eyes playing tricks.
No, I don't know if he might be. It looks like okay, yeah. So he's using spotlight, so you can see there's a light overlay there. Let's see if we can find his group here, and let's focus
group
on.
2.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Let's jump to. There you go. So yeah, you can see he's using Lightbox here, and he's loading a texture. And he's using Lightbox to apply the painting from the texture onto the mesh.
Super smart. Do you think he's sculpting at the exact same time to like apply
It
kind of
appears
like
it's only RGB right now at the top, so
Okay.
just color. But another very easy way to take reference material and just load it into ZBrush and then paint directly on your model with it.
It's really rad.
It's pretty amazing.
He can
watching
also
these guys
mask
work.
by intensity afterwards to kind of
Oh
get
yes, yeah.
levels.
And then spike it up or do whatever he wants to do.
So many options. I feel like we're like, this is the horse race, right? Is where we're just like, oh snap, they're using this tool. I wonder if they're gonna do X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, and you never know. There's just so many options and so many ways to do things. But you can see that each of these guys here also have their just different workflows, and they've all, found a home inside of ZBrush to bring all their creations to life. So it's really, really powerful.
And it's also interesting to see when each artist is using hard surface or organic elements on both sides, really.
And switch,
Everybody's super skilled in everything because they can do whatever their hearts desire.
That's
this
right.
really cool stuff.
All right, so since we are already on group 2 here, we're going to go back to group 1, and then we'll jump to set 3 here. So there we go with Tan and Steven Anderson, just the progress of where they are at. So slicing panel loops, it looks like here, for Steven Anderson. Getting those shapes and forms. Using Z-modeler processes. Masking.
Nice. So he's going to be our Z-modeler.
Yeah, I think Ara had the Z-modeler stuff going for our last group. So this one looks like Steven Anderson here is going to be pulling some of this stuff out.
Yep. And his design really kind of embraces that workflow because it's so clean.
And one of the nice things is, like, even if you use Z-modeler, you can always convert it to a Dynamesh, convert it to subdivisions, and then just start sculpting on it. There's no restriction to starting one way or another. The transitions will all transition fluidly to each of the other processes inside of ZBrush. So you can just use what you want to use.
And then use
there you
something
go.
else.
There's some Z-modeler right there. It's going to get it to expand here. He's got the back faces going on here. Doing a little flipping. There we go.
Nice.
Now he's got thickness across that entire surface.
His robot has a life vest.
Robot has a life vest. Johnny 5 will float. All right, on to set 3 here, since we already hit set 2. So let's bring those guys in. So we have Vichar. So he's back to the neck thing here. He was doing some tattooing.
Yeah, I want to see.
Let's see where he's gone with this.
Yeah, we'll hang out here.
Furio's got arms on his chest.
Oh, dang. So this guy
now this is
massive.
Yeah,
basically.
now so Furio's from South Africa, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's got the, you kind of got that whole, was it District 8, District
9.
District 9, and then you also have Chappie and all that kind of like.
3 years.
So you kind of got that whole. I don't know. It's very. It kind of fits almost apocalyptic.
Yeah, I feel like
things.
everybody's got a really strong artistic background in different stuff that they can bring to the competition. We got the Bethesda guys for Fallout. We got Furio with like his country being the hotbed for sci-fi movies right now.
Right now, yeah, for sure.
Like some of the coolest movies have all been based out of South Africa, and I don't know. I love sci-fi.
Now he may have said those. That reason for that might being that Furio may have helped on those movies.
Wait, what? Did he work on my favorite things?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna go read his bio.
Yeah. Cheat sheet here.
Cheat sheet.
Wow. So he's adding some wiring here for these bones to make it look like they're attached.
He did not include details in his bio. It just says feature films.
We'll have
he
to
and
see
I
if
are
we
going
can
to
get
talk
Louis
later.
in the hot seat.
All right, so
we did some
Vichar,
noise, and then we did some
yes.
masking, it appears, and now we're
Yes.
doing some group loops.
I
With
want to
some-
see what he's going to do with
Yeah,
this.
see, very cool.
He has captivated my interest, and now I want to know more.
There's also a offset functionality that's in the surface noise as well, so you can use that, offset based on the value you have selected there, so you can get this effect without needing to trim the geometry. And that will also transfer to Keyshot if you're using the bridge. So I didn't see if he had that option on when he was in the surface noise palette, but that's another way you can do it without distorting your mesh,
So rad.
especially for rendering. So, and it looks like he's going to start layering.
It's going to be
this.
so cool.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And also make this a necklace and print it out. I love how
That
I'm
would be
just
a cool
like basically
necklace,
like digitally
Just
shopping with everybody's
yes,
designs.
Just
I'm
gonna
like,
bribe them afterwards.
I
to-
will take one of these and one of these. Pretty please.
So I saw Eamon was here yesterday, who did your the dress, 3D printed dress.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he was here in one of the labs. So he created. I don't know. You can describe it a little bit better, probably.
So he wanted to do this whole like 3D printed fashion thing and pinged me to like help him out. And I did a little bit of sculpting, but I work full time and do a bunch of stuff in my spare time. So he did like this whole 3D design and then went and printed it out and tried a bunch of different techniques, like printing out already kind of like a chainmail sort of effect. And so creating like a mesh that has no joints, like it all just
so 3D printed
out
fashion.
stretch.
Yeah.
it's really, really cool.
And he did it in ZBrush, right?
Yeah, he did it in ZBrush and then worked with, and I'm so sorry for forgetting names, but like there were companies that printed it out and printed out different pieces of it, and we put it all together and then had lighting and cool stuff and then shot it all
Yeah, it looked
super
amazing at the end
super
result.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
But
And
kind of
that's another thing that just the industries have just been growing, and we have ZBrush is used in so many industries, and fashion's another one. So say like you have a bone in your body that wants to do fashion, right? Like you can, and you have a bone in your body that wants to do digital. Well, there is an avenue for digital sculpting and fashion.
No, it's true. And honestly, it's just like enabling you to make your art and bring your art into the real world.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's the best digital tool for people without like a strong digital training, because it embraces all the traditional side of things. Like if you know how to use your hands, you could probably hop in ZBrush and within the
And
first
mess with it,
day make something that looks like what you intended to make.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's a complex tool.
It
And
is.
you can take advantage of all its complexity as you learn more and more and more, but you can start off and sculpt immediately from day one. It's powerful.
It's very true. Very true. So here we have Erick Sosa and Dennis here. You can see they're moving on with their sculpts here. Erick has started his painting aspects as well.
Oh, yeah. So
Oh,
I
and
think
he's
this
doing
is
some
going to be his
inflating
pose.
too. Yeah. So he's
He's
going
making
in.
him buffer.
Buffer.
He's like,
Ooh,
ah!
there's negative buff.
I like the real-time reaction to his sculpt, so he
That's
knows
when you get creepy
exactly what
monsters.
we're looking
Yeah.
It's like,
Another fun thing with surface noise is just start
Turning the
stacking stuff and like put a really high surface noise on something, and then send that over or render it with BPR, and it gives you like these crazy nightmare creatures. You make nightmare creatures all over the place.
I like that you found a way to make instant nightmares.
Yes.
You're
And
like,
you don't,
"I
if you don't have
found
to
the right
print them,
method."
they're excellent for rendering. So.
Oh. Do
Render
the
nightmares.
people that have to light and render these things agree with you?
So far, I don't think anyone's seen them but me. I keep them in a folder to myself and cry.
Little night. Well, yeah, it's you know how there's like bedtime tales, like stories that you tell kids. You should have a book of like
ZBrush
Bump in the
Nightmares.
Night or Goosebumps and
Yeah.
what was the really scary one with the terrifying drawings? You need to make one of those
Oh,
and
what
then
was
tell
that-
these
this whole
stories to your
series
small
called?
children.
Oh man, there's a whole series, and they redid some more, I think, too.
Oh man, what was it called?
You may have to look that up.
I think-
because I think it's going to be one of those things that I'm just going to think about forever.
It's like scary stories to tell
tell
in
in
the
the
night.
dark? Is that
yeah,
what it is?
I think
Somewhere
so.
around?
Let me just look it up. Scary stories.
Oh, Choose Your Own Adventures were another good ones back in the day. So here we have.
Yeah, it is exactly these. The art is the most terrifying art on the planet.
those were the best ones growing up.
Yeah, like
Yep.
that.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I
Scary
remember reading
stories to tell in the
these.
dark.
I read the heck out of these. I loved them. Also, who thought this was appropriate for an 11-year-old? Because this is my life.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this
Good-
is why
good
I'm me
reference.
now.
You're gonna make me go rebuy these. Is what's gonna
Well,
happen.
now you need
Thanks.
to turn your nightmare creatures into a
Thanks.
storybook.
This is true. Can do that. Inktober.
Inktober.
Inktober Nightmare Creatures storybook.
It's the
Let's do
the
this.
theme.
Let's do this.
And then you can Ghostbusters with your kids to zap
This
them
is
up.
right. Yep. I've already got a projector rigged up for. I'm gonna try to mount on the end of the wands, or at least it's gonna be in a trap, so it will display the ghosts spinning around. We got that working already, so we'll see how
You're
it
like
goes.
the best dad.
So here we got Dmitry and Lucas Hardi, and you can see what they're at on this here. If you're just tuning in, this is the ZBrush Sculpt-Off 2016, or otherwise known as Joseph and Jessica Talk About Whatever.
We talk about art and things that inspire us. Hopefully,
Yes.
you're okay with
So
that.
hopefully you're not completely bored or tearing or to have the volume turned down. If you have the volume turned down, that's okay. My brother is a sound designer, and I always joke with him that sound designer in the video game industry, and I always joke with him that sounds like one of the most unneeded aspects of a video game because you can just turn it off and you can still play the game.
Do you turn the sound off when you play games?
No.
Oh my goodness! So
But I
that's-
like to tease him
Yeah,
that all
you're
his hard
mean.
work I can turn off.
I love monster sounds. We recently had a pet pig come into the office to record noises for one of the monsters, and so my friend's little tiny
Now,
pet
was it a
pig.
potbelly pig?
It was it was a little tiny baby pig. So like a
They're
pig,
tasty
a
animals.
pygmy.
Oh, sorry.
But no, it was a little tiny thing, and it makes these snuffle noises when it eats. And so they were just feeding.
Recording
They
the.
were feeding the pig, eating a whole bunch
Were
of
they
stuff.
feeding him truffles?
That would be the opposite of what
Okay,
you want pigs
okay,
for.
Okay. You want them to find them.
Yeah, you want them to find them so
But don't they
you
eat
can
them?
eat them. Of course,
Okay.
that's like their favorite treat, but then you give them like a carrot. You're like, thanks for the truffle, here's a carrot.
Here's a
and they're
carrot.
like, eh.
So very cool stuff going on here. All right, let's go to our next group because we are thing here, and then we're gonna bounce back to our slides here. We got about 10 minutes here, so we're gonna get through the set 6, and then we're gonna take a little break here. You guys are probably gonna lose audio. We're gonna take our little break.
Yeah, don't stress out. It's
We're gonna
be all
take
good.
the bathroom key and run with it. And then we'll be back, so don't stress out if the audio goes down. We're gonna give you the overview shot of the Sculpt-Off here while we take
Yes.
that, and then we'll be back for the conclusion of the Sculpt-Off. So we got about 10 more minutes before that happens.
I'm really digging how far Joe has come with his character and how much time he has left to like create.
Create the flushing
more.
it out, yeah.
You know, like he's like, oh, I already got the anatomy and what I want to do in.
Let's
now
just
let
keep
me
going.
just like.
Yeah. So he's got a baby too going on here.
Oh, dude.
Look at this.
But this is a
This is
robot that I
Papoose
want
number
on.
2.
No, but I want this robot on my team. This is a kind robot that's obviously.
But what is he a kind robot? Do we know
It's
this?
Children of Men style. It's the last baby of the apocalypse.
Oh, I
This
see where you're
robot's
going,
gonna give
yeah.
it water and sunshine and grow a new baby.
And then it's gonna have 2
I'm
babies to take care
pro
of.
this robot, but also I love the design and it's still super simple. Like some of these are only a couple polygons wide, like the pectoral area
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
robot. Like he's going in and
He's doing the
sculpting where he
layering it
needs
in,
to,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, it's
Keeping the
some
layering.
really cool elements.
Getting the shapes and designs. I like how Menna's going here, and he's already got the he's got the base. He's ready for 3D printing for this one when he's done.
I hope he does.
He's ready.
Not
Limited
biased. I
edition
love seeing.
Joe Menna ZBrush Sculpt-Off 2016 version right there.
Yep.
All right, so let's hop back to our main views here so you guys can see all the action.
These are all of our organic guys. Oh, I love the nose pattern that's going on with tan.
Yeah. It's very. We saw some of this kind of like
Ooh.
pattern shapes in our last Sculpt-Off for definitely the creatures that were supposed to be like, woodland creatures, like treants and stuff. So
Yeah. Well,
it's
this
nice to
is
see it brought back. I really like the style of it.
very much so. Well, it just reads very interesting. Like something has happened to this guy in the apocalypse, or he brought the apocalypse down. I don't know. We'll find out.
Vichar is doing a lot of surface noise, so he's been going through a lot of this and adding these different elements and patterns. I wonder if he's going to have this like kind of layered effect with like different materials and glowy bits. I'm still waiting for glowy bits.
No one has done glowy
No
bits
one has
yet.
done glowy bits yet.
And somebody had glowing eyes.
We did glowing
the Chucky
eyes, but it's not
baby
bits.
from the last one.
Yeah.
Like the really terrifying with the growth of the other. Yeah. Ooh. Some little fleur-de-lis.
Oh yeah, there we go. Add another
really
element
excited.
of stuff here. And so that process for even getting designs like that on, like he just had a repeating pattern, applied it to the shape with the surface noise, and then he's now just, made it its own polygroup, and now he's able to do whatever he wants with it. So he can group loop it, he can extract
So
it, he can hide it.
fast.
Yeah. He can buff out just certain areas. So really, really powerful feature. And he's using it like a pro
To
here.
its full extent. Like,
Gilded effects for armor. All sorts of things. Very cool. And let's go to our hard surface group. So we have your friendly robot.
I'm digging all these robots. Everything from terrifying to helpful to possibly the thing that will save the human race.
Furio's gonna give me those glowy bits. I see him. He's working on it.
We appreciate you.
We're gonna get glowy bits from Furio.
Yeah, you are.
Uh-huh.
I hope so. Gosh,
And
it's
Andreas,
terrifying.
he's going in and doing like the under mechanical structures now inside his cage of like anatomy.
Oh.
So
So rad. So many elements. And then Dennis is doing such like a cool, clean character.
yeah,
I cannot wait to see the final version of it, for the render.
he's being very methodical too for all the different parts.
I feel that hard surface guys really have to have that pre-planned, thoughtful approach versus the like willy-nilly, let's see where we go. Or maybe that's just him. But I dig it.
It might be. So we've got 7 minutes left here until we take our little break. That will be the halfway point for this Sculpt-Off. Once again, this is ZBrush Sculpt-Off 2016. This is Group 2, so we have 6 hard surface contestants and 6 organic contestants. This is our last group for the entire Sculpt-Off. So total, we have 12 hard surface and 12 organic, all competing for the title of champion. And we want to thank our sponsors, Formlabs, Keyshot, Wacom, Kotobukiya, Good Smile Company, Funko, and 3D Formedical. And as this is going, you also have the presentations happening over on the main stage as well, which is also being streamed. So I don't know if you guys have 2 browsers open up. You might be watching both of these at the same time, just hogging the bandwidth.
Dang.
If you're in the LA area, the event goes on for 2 more days. So after today, there's
until
still
Sunday.
2 more. Yeah, and it's a free event, so you can show up and enjoy the festivities, meet and greet the artists, hang out with them. It's good times.
Come hang out.
Come hang out. And then if you're anywhere else, just we can live stream. So just plug in, sit on your couch, and have fun. And hopefully you guys pick up some information and interesting tidbits on ZBrush workflows. And if you have any questions on what you're seeing here, make sure you hit up our Twitter feed. So use the hashtag ZBrush Summit, and you can send questions there. And we have guys manning that, and they will be more than happy to send you information. And we're just getting to the middle of here.
I can't wait to see the entire innards of Andrea's like
Yeah, to see
sculpt.
how he does with it, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna give it like little robot organs.
Oh, man, Furio's got some pretty cool front muzzle type areas now getting fleshed out.
It's really cool to see how his mind works. Terrifying, but
Terrifying. Let's hop back to the organic. Here's our 6 organic contestants here.
Oh man, Tan is doing like this crazy reptile eyeball for his character. His
Just
character's
poly paint it right on the
basically
sphere there. Man, okay, we're back to Brett Briley's. He's brought back his.
Oh
he's
yes.
He's added fiber mesh hair.
I want to see where the baby's gonna be. Oh, is the
Yeah.
baby gonna be inside his back in one of those
Oh,
cylinders?
maybe the little containers. I bet that's what it is exactly. So he's powered by babies.
How is he gonna frame this? How is he gonna like
I don't
compose it
know.
into a final
He's gone to the
image?
fiber mesh now too. He's going through everything. He's gonna use all the features in ZBrush here.
Yeah, his feed is gonna be very interesting to watch solo later because exactly like a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything mixed together.
Materials,
Yes,
fiber mesh, sculpting, subtools, hard surface, organic.
it's really cool. We got a tattoo coming in from Erick Sosa.
Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna say mom, or what do you think it's gonna say?
Maybe it'll say Joe.
It could be saying maybe ZBrush. Could be.
Aww.
Love ZBrush. You think he took an arrow to the knee?
So that technically means that he got married. Like, no, that's like
That's
an
what it
old
is.
school colloquialism for he got married.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
That is good
so
to
it's
know.
like an old timey version of ball and chain.
Okay. Took an arrow to the knee.
So
That makes it even more humorous.
It's extra humorous.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this
'Cause now you
guy's
just
gonna
have all
be
the
hanging out in a kiddie pool.
The phrases of all the,
Yeah.
inside that game. Every time they said it, it was okay until I took an arrow to the knee.
I think they might have meant it literal in Skyrim though.
I know, but now that you brought this up,
Yeah.
it may also
Adds
been
an
that
extra
way.
layer of
Yes.
lols.
Yes.
Or maybe one of the characters was like, "No, I really got shot in the knee," and every other character's
It's
like,
like,
"Well, I got married."
I got married.
So I just glanced over at the chat. There's so many people that are rooting for so many different artists today. Makes me really happy.
All right, so we have 2 more minutes. Let's pop over to hard surface really quick.
Yep.
And then we're going to leave you guys with a view of the room as we take a quick break. And your audio will cut off, so turn up some music, do something else. You won't be hearing us talk.
But only be for like 10, 15 minutes.
We don't take long breaks.
We didn't want to chew chips while we were talking to you
No, I have a
guys.
bag here. We can make crunchy sound.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
That would be annoying, so we weren't
Can
going to
you
do it.
imagine?
Yeah, through the whole Sculpt-Off, we're just eating.
Yeah, they're like, never bring those guys back again.
Never bring them back. But, I mean, it sounds like you go for like food. I don't know. I wonder how many of the percentage of our Sculpt-Off contestants here have eaten today.
Nerves, though. For reals,
Yeah.
I bet you they'll be famished when they finish up.
This
But
is
if you're
right, yeah,
nervous,
exactly.
you don't want to eat.
Yep.
Like every time I do a presentation or something like that, like I don't eat very much because my stomach's basically a knot. And then when I finish, I have to do jumping jacks because I have too much like nervous energy
Nervous
that's like all
energy.
filling me. Ugh, it's awful. But I could go for a cookie.
A cookie.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my plan.
All right, so we are going to leave you here and take a quick break. We will be back.
Super back.
And we're going to go muted here. So here's the view of the room as these guys continue to sculpt off. And we'll be back for the second half of Group 2 on the ZBrush Summit 2016 Sculpt-Off.